Hi Randy, it's AJ Hurst with the Ortho Guru again, and here is the second video that is going to be covering a little bit more about pay-per-click. So let's get started. The two types of digital marketing methods that I think are going to be working best in 2018 is still the classic search engine optimization, getting your site to rank well in Google. It is a bit of a long-term process to be seeing results. You already have some headway for sure, but it's still going to take, probably 3 to 9 months before you're seeing a whole lot of results. It is worth it though, as I showed you with, Farina Orthodontics, for that high volume search of Orthodontist Tampa. They're taking a majority, probably 40% of the traffic that people are searching each month. You are in spot 12, so page 2. You're really not getting any of that traffic. A website does need to be optimized for conversions. The investment is going to be probably minimum of $1,500 a month and up. Probably more for yours because there are so many locations, and with some of the optimization that I was talking about with each location for the maps listing, it's going to probably be a little bit more than that, but we can talk about that later. What I want to focus on with this video is the pay-per-click ads. And when I'm talking pay-per-click, we're talking about primarily Facebook and AdWords, and it's essentially just the paid ads that you're able to do. AdWords is going to show up in those top 4 spots above the map listings, and Facebook ads, you can have them show up in multiple places, but the primary spot is just in a person's newsfeed as they're scrolling through. There are different types of Facebook ads, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. The beauty about paid ads is there's quick results. So you get to see results, and you get to see your return on investment very, very quickly, as opposed to SEO, which takes a lot of upfront work, and the payoff is definitely down the road more. The paid ads will pay you back right away, but also they do build a list of they fill your pipeline of sales for down the road as well. They build a list that then you can do email marketing to, you can do retargeting of paid ads to. There's a lot you can do beyond just that initial sale. And another beauty of paid ads is they are like having a targeted billboard, right? So if you put a billboard up on the side of the road, in a large market, it's going to be very, very expensive. And you're in a pretty large market, fairly affluent for the most part, I would say. And I'm sure it's very, very expensive to run a billboard, and it's going to be very difficult to tell what kind of return on your investment you're even getting. So a paid ad is like having a billboard that you can put right in front of your ideal client at the ideal time on their ideal platform. And you can also track and measure exactly how they're interacting and what kind of results you're getting for each dollar spent. Again, the investment really depends on scale, but I am seeing with most orthodontists that the potential for a 5 to 10 times return on your investment is really not out of the ordinary. The profit margin for each patient is pretty good. So when you can get a patient for, in the $100 to $200 range for them to start, that leaves a lot of room for profit. The goal of paid ads, let's just kind of define that, is to get patients now. That was kind of that quick hit that I was talking about, and you want to get them at the lowest cost. That's really how you're going to measure your effectiveness, is when you drive down the cost per patient to acquire as a new start. Does that make sense? As well as patients later, like I was saying, it fills that pipeline of sales. And for clarification, a lead is going to mean either a name, email, and phone number, all 3 of those things on like a form submit, or a phone call directly to one of your offices. Here's some keys to paid ad success. Number 1, I say don't do what everyone else is doing. 99% of advertisers are really just kind of doing the same thing, especially when we're talking about AdWords. They're kind of lazy, and they're really not utilizing the best practices that are available. You need to develop a compelling offer that cuts through the noise. With AdWords and Facebook especially, there's a lot of distractions, right? The internet is full of distractions. and especially on Facebook. So you need to have an offer that is compelling, speaks right to what your prospective patient wants and needs, and then makes a promise to deliver on that. When you are generating paid ad traffic, you need to make sure that you have a dedicated landing page. So you don't ever want to be sending traffic 99.99% of the time. You don't want to send them to your website. And the reason is, like I said in the last video, your website is beautiful, it functions well, it provides a ton of information, but that the double-edged sword part of that is that it's very easy for people to get lost and overwhelmed and just distracted. So you may have a great offer that drives them to your site, but if they don't find something that matches up with that offer within seconds, they're going to get distracted and they're going to lose, you're going to lose them as a lead. They're just going to either get totally lost or they'll leave because they don't find something extremely relevant to them. You need to make that next step easy and clear that you want them to take. You also need to let the market data dictate your optimization. So we track and watch everything that's going on so that we can optimize keywords, we can optimize targeting, we can optimize the offer, the landing page. Every facet of the ad campaign, we are constantly watching and optimizing and letting the data dictate what we do. So Facebook ads, my favorite way to run Facebook ads for orthodontic is lead ads. And what that does is you don't even send people off of Facebook. When they click on your ad, it brings up a form and they fill it out right there on Facebook. And in fact, Facebook fills out most of the form for them. It's very quick, it's very simple, and it converts really well to getting that lead. And again, with Facebook, their demographics targeting is incredible. So you can put your offer right in front of your ideal client. And in fact, with the retargeting, you can find your ideal client. They interact and engage with your ad, and then you tell Facebook to go find 100 more people just like that, and you feed them the ad so that you are constantly getting better and better results as time goes by. Let's talk a little bit about AdWords, and this slide can be a little bit overwhelming. I've tried to highlight the important things. So again, AdWords has 4 spots at the top of Google. There's also spots on the bottom and second page, but those are worthless. Nobody's going to see them. You want to be in those top 4 spots. And the way that Google determines where you rank, where your ad ranks, is a combination of how much you're willing to pay and the quality. So essentially, the better the quality of your ad, the better the relevance, the less you're going to pay for that ad position. Does that make sense? So one of the most important factors of the relevance is going to be the click-through rate. And that is the percentage of people who actually click on your ad versus how many people are seeing your ad. The higher the click-through rate, the more relevant you are to the search that the Google users are putting in. And Google ultimately wants to provide the best experience for their customers by serving the most relevant ads. And Google even says that 60% of the quality score is determined by the click-through rate. So here's what most people do. You know, again, 99% of advertisers, they group all their keywords into just a handful of ad groups. So, you know, all these keywords that you're seeing on the side, they're all grouped together. Any one of those may trigger the same ad being shown to them, the same offer. And that can lead to irrelevant clicks, fraudulent clicks, and ultimately a lower quality score because it's not highly relevant. What I do that's different is I utilize what's called the one-to-one method. And it is, in my opinion, the top 1% performance in AdWords. And what I do is I split up every one of those keywords that we're bidding on, and I put it in its own ad group so that when it triggers a highly relevant ad, a highly relevant offer to the searcher that increases the odds that they're going to click on it and engage with it. And Google rewards you with lower cost for better performance. I hope that all makes sense. Again, the goal of paid ads is to get patients now at the lowest cost and then patients later for continued follow-up. Especially with orthodontic, it can be a long sales cycle. People may not be ready to buy for 6 months or more, and you need to continue to nurture that relationship. And I wanted to speak to that just real briefly. I know that in your marketing audit form, you had said that you wanted to increase sales conversions, and that's definitely something that I can help you with. I have a, kind of another guide that I've written with best practices for follow-up, and it takes some work, it takes some persistence, but ultimately it pays off with increased conversions, because I could serve up just dozens and dozens and dozens of leads every month, but if we're not following up effectively, it's wasting a lot of money. That's going to be the ultimate determinant of the return on investment, is how well you can follow up. And I think that when we talked before, you had said that you had a pretty high conversion rate with consult to new patient start. So that's excellent. I would love to see that same high conversion rate from lead to consult scheduled, and then consult scheduled to new patient treatment start. That's how we're going to develop a fantastic return on your investment, and I think you'll be real happy. So here's my proposal. Number one, my goal is to provide a fantastic ROI for your marketing dollars. I want to provide measurable results, meaning leads, actual people raising their hand saying, I want this service, and then you can follow up and get them scheduled. I would recommend starting with a PPC campaign. Your SEO is okay. You are getting traffic to your website. I think that with some of the sales conversion strategies, we might be able to improve the conversions of visitors to patients. So I think that the best way would be to start with a paid ad campaign. And from what I'm seeing of the competition, we could very quickly dominate in AdWords and probably also in Facebook ads. I think that you're in a really big population, so there's definitely the search volume to support whatever level of whatever scale of paid ads that you want to pursue. I think that we could really drive a lot of new patients to your offices. So what I like to do is start with a trial. That allows you to test me and see if I can actually deliver the goods. That also allows me to make sure that you are going to be able to follow up well and convert the leads that I send you. So it's a partnership. We both need to work together and do our part. As well, it allows me to collect some of the data and see, what a lead is going to cost. I have a lot of proven ad copy, and the process is proven, but each market is going to respond a little bit differently depending on the demographics, essentially. So there's always going to be a little bit of a learning process and optimization for every market that we start in. So what I would propose is you take the profit from one patient, which I remember you told me earlier was around $2,000. So you're only risking the profit off of one patient. For that new patient, I will get you at least 25 leads. So for $2,000, I will get you at least 25 leads. You should be able to convert, of those 25 plus, you should be able to convert at least one to a new patient and make your money back. Everything after that is profit for you. It'll probably take about 3 weeks. And then at the end of those 3 weeks, we will have another conversation, look at the results, adjust as necessary, and ultimately just see if it's a good fit for us to work together. If it is, awesome. I don't have any contracts. I don't want to lock you into something that you're not happy with. I want to earn your business every single month by providing great results. So my final question for you is, what will it take for you to look back 3 months from now and be glad that we worked together? I want you to really think about that and hopefully verbalize it for me so that I can really know what your measure of success is, because that's my goal and that's the ROI that I want to provide for you. So the next step, now I know that you said you were busy, and I know that you had said we were going to touch base again in June. However, the best time to start marketing is yesterday, because the results that you put in today are going to pay off 30 days from now. That's what I've learned in running a business. So it is a pretty low risk offer. It won't take much effort from you because I really have the whole system and process built out, where ultimately how it works is I will run the ads. I would need to get access to your Facebook page because the ads would run from your Facebook page, and the AdWords you don't have to worry about. And ultimately, I will set everything up so that the leads come in and they are immediately emailed to you, or any phone calls that come in are redirected to whichever office is taking the phone calls to follow up. So if you can put me in contact with your practice manager, office manager, whoever is going to be handling the leads and whoever handles the Facebook page, or at least has access to it, I can very quickly, within just a couple days, get you set up on the ad campaign, and you'll have leads rolling in within a day or two after that. It's really that fast. I have the process, I have the automation all built out. So ultimately, I know that you're busy. It's your call if you want to start now or later. I would recommend just go ahead and start now. That way, when things back off a little bit for you and you can really have a chance to assess it, we'll already have the data so you can assess if it's something that you want to roll out to all locations. And that's what I've got for you. So I hope to hear back from you. I hope to have a conversation. Have a great day and enjoy all that sunshine that I'm sure you're having in Florida. We're finally starting to get a little bit up here in Virginia. Thanks. Bye.